Oh, g'day, Phil, mate. It's been a while, but after our call a few weeks back, I thought I'd give you another buzz and see how you're doing.
Yeah, nice, mate. Well, it's good to be back.
Looks like you had a fight with a wolf there. What happened?
Yeah, this little guy. No, he's just a standard bit of foil face, I guess. It probably happens to me twice a year. So yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. Bit of glue, and she's all good.
Nice one, nice one. I've seen you've been down in another part of the country doing a bit of kite falling. What's the story there?
Yeah, well, I started kite foiling, kite surfing, and foiling middle of this year. Thought I'd take it on, learn a new skill, and it's been great. I've loved the journey, loved learning, and I think what the cool thing is for me about the kite foiling is the feeling you get. Everything is felt through your feet and your legs, and everything's so delicate. Anything you adjust with your, even just moving your pressure from your heels to your toes is makes a huge difference. We decided, right, it's probably time for a brotherly battle to see who's the alpha male amongst the family.
Yeah.
And yeah, we went and took on the national champs. It was sort of I would say it was a race of experience. Being the older brother who's done the most time was my younger brother. He put it all in, and I sort of thought maybe I could just spend some money and be good, but turns out they spent the money too. So that was kind of all flawed. So I didn't have anything going for me, and I got walloped. Got my pants pulled down by them. They were both quite a bit faster. Technique was one of them. They're both quite good. They've spent a lot more time and had good technique, and I'm still learning, especially the race style and format. And but awesome, such a good time, and yeah, a lot of fun. So it's the winner at the end of the day was time. My little brother who put the most time in, he won. So that's a good thing. Good thing for
Fantastic.
sport. You can't just
Yeah.
spend the money.
Yeah, for sure. It sounds like there's an interesting learning curve there as well. Apart from the physical aspects, which are different with kite falling, how have you found your past experiences with sailing and other water sports activities in the foiling arena have basically helped? And I guess what similarities have you seen so far?
Well, I started my foiling journey, I don't know, maybe 5, 6 years ago. And that was on smaller catamarans, 33, 32, 33-foot cats. It was the first time I foiled. And that's obviously evolved a lot since, especially the last couple of years where that technology has kind of started to really filter down into the small board sports on the water. So right down to surfing. I think it's fantastic now what it's done for the sport. But what I love about it is the ability to learn, I guess, in a different way. The sailing's great because you're on a big boat, you've got these foils underneath it, you're flying through the water, but you don't actually get the feeling of what affects that foil, and down to the finish of the foil, different pressures around it as well. So you've actually got to do so much varied sailing, I guess, on foils to really get a better understanding of it. So I love it all. I'd do anything I could to on a foil, any craft that foils, I'd take it on to do some learning. What I found really interesting was kite foiling in waves, and your mast, I guess, or the longest part of your foil is going from being really submerged to having very little, and you're trying to obviously keep it pretty steady, but it's not easy all the time when you're sort of going 30 knots. So the difference of finish on the foil when there's the foil is getting exposed to air, water is crucial. And I was having some real difficulties at first and having to play a lot with the finish to get it right, I guess, or get what I thought felt right. And you don't get that feeling on a big catamaran, an F50, for instance. You don't have that feeling because it's big, it's huge. You're talking about tons of gear that it's supporting. So yeah, that little intricacies of the feel that you get from doing other foiling on a board where it's in your feet, or even down to a moth, everything's so different. So, and the feeling becomes apparent in your hands and feet and through your body. So yeah, that's my big thing for foiling is you guys got to do so much, and so do a bunch of different foiling to get a real good understanding of it.
And I guess probably down the line, pairing that that hands-on knowledge and like you say, feeling would be very interesting to combine that with the engineering and physical approach and the science behind the foiling as well.
Look, the development's going to continue for sure, and it's only going to get faster.
What would you recommend is the best way to get out in the water, you know, on an occasional basis with a budget in mind?
To get into foiling, the easiest way is to get a really big board, say 7 feet. Volume's quite important, so 140 liters, 120 to 140 liters, so it floats. You want to be able to stand up on the board in the water with it floating. It can be a little bit unstable, but the easiest way is to be towed behind a boat. You don't go fast. You don't need to go fast. 5, 6, 7, 8 knots. Probably 8 knots is about the right speed. The biggest mistake people make is they think the board is affecting like your snowboarding or your wakeboard or any sort of board sport where you're trying to dig a rail in to turn. You got to forget about that. It's not that what is turning is what's underneath you. So it's more, I guess, like a plane that's banking is going to turn around. Does that make sense with the wings, just the way the air is flowing? So it's the same with the foil. When it's under the water, little bit of weight on your back, foot, and it's going to give you lift and take off. But the stability or the roll, I guess, is all done by the foil, not the ball. And the next best way would, like in my mind, if you've done no board sports, no sailing, anything, is to get one of those wings, those little bat wings. It's really taking off around the world, so there's going to be a good second-hand market as well. It's developing fast, so it's getting easier as well and better. But that's probably the safest and most fun way to get started, I would say, and the easiest. It's pretty light to hold. You blow it up. It takes you 10 minutes once you hit the beach arrive to the beach to get out on the water. So it can be done pretty quickly, and you can have so much fun with it. You can go take that wing from just learning in flat water and a little bit of wind to riding massive swell, or even dropping into surf breaks with it. So it's pretty addictive. So be careful. Foiling to me I'm just so hooked. It's so much fun, so enjoyable, and it's so diverse. There's so many different things you can do and take the sport. So, I mean, if you've got any questions, or if anyone's got any questions on it and want to know any answers, whether it's really technical or really, really basic, fire them our way. Let us know, and we can either have a chat about it next time or reply in some comments as well. So, happy to answer any questions you guys have.
Pop that in our YouTube comments, or obviously contact us directly at Phil Robertson Racing on our dedicated Instagram page. I'd love to know, how is it going with Spanish SailGP preparations, and where we're placed for the relaunch in April, and tell us a little bit about the initiatives that have been going on back in Spain at the moment.
First event's going to be in Bermuda, and we've just finally secured our team for the year. So got a strong lineup again, quite a very similar team to last year, except we're adding 2 females to the team, which is quite exciting too. So it's going to be a bigger team, which is nice in terms of sailing. And I'm really excited. The guys have done a good job in Spain. A couple of months ago, they did a women's selection event. We also just ran some grinder trials and had some amazing candidates there. And unfortunately, you can't pick everyone. So we've got a new grinder joining the team as well, and 2 new women. So it's exciting, and I'm pretty pumped to get sailing in those boats again.
Solid.